Stefan. Hi, lovely to meet you. I'm Lucy.
So that's for you at a time. Let's go, Michael. Okay.
Was that this was last year? It's a good event.
Aye. It's busy.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, oh, it's been brilliant. It's totally turned my life right around, so it has.
Good morning, everyone. If you'd like to take a seat.
Look forward to work.
It's great that everybody's chatting, but we are on a bit of a schedule here, so can everybody sit down? Good morning. I'm Lucy McTurnan. I'm the Acting Chief Executive of SCVO, and it's my exceptional pleasure to welcome everybody here to the 2018 gathering. It's already shaping up to be an absolutely fabulous couple of days. The point in the year where we celebrate everything that the third sector does, all charities, voluntary organisations, the good work that we do in every community across Scotland. We don't shy away from some of the tough issues. We know that we all operate in quite a difficult environment, and the headlines of the last week or 10 days or so show that charities are not immune from proper scrutiny of the work that we do. But of all the bits of the gathering, which I love, I think this session that we have on the first morning to celebrate Community Jobs Scotland is probably my absolute favourite, because it's the point in the event, and therefore the point in the year, where we get to meet firsthand the real success stories of the work that charities and voluntary organisations do. In the room today, I'm absolutely delighted to welcome young people who have been in and through the Community Jobs Scotland programme, contributing their time and skills to voluntary organisations of all shapes and sizes, doing different types of work in communities across Scotland. I also welcome those of you that are currently in a Community Jobs Scotland job, working with one of those fabulous voluntary organisations. There's a handful of you who are thinking about doing a Community Jobs Scotland programme, and I hope by the end of this you'll be fired up to definitely take it on. And also, of course, a huge welcome to all of you representing the fabulous voluntary organisations, the organisations that partner with SCVO in the delivery of the programme, doing the good work that you do, but also alongside that, providing an opportunity for people to get that first step on the employment ladder, and the real opportunity quite often to literally transform their lives. It's a fabulous opportunity for us all to listen to some of those experiences that people have had and are currently going through, and to be really positive about the contribution that Community Jobs Scotland continues to make. We're 7 years in now. We've done 7 rounds of Community Jobs Scotland, and looking ahead to the year ahead to do even more and make even more of a contribution to Scotland's communities and to the lives of individual young people and the families around them. That's what I'd like to say by way of welcome to all of you. What you have alongside me on the panel up here is an array of talent who are going to represent or speak on behalf of those different interests, people who've been involved in CGS, are currently involved in CGS, or are currently hosting employees in CGS. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce the person who probably, above all, makes it possible for us to do this, because he's the guy in charge of the overall government policy and indeed the purse strings that provides the funding for it. Jamie has to leave quite promptly, so won't be able to stay for the full event, but I know that you'll be really pleased to hear this morning from Jamie Hepburn, who's the Minister for Employability and Training with the Scottish Government. Over to you, Jamie.
Thank you very much, Lucy, for that introduction, and if I could take a moment just to begin by thanking you for the contribution that you have made over the past few months in your capacity as the interim Chief Executive of the SCVO. I very much look forward to continuing to work with you, and of course also to welcoming Anna Fowley into her new role as your Chief Executive when she takes post in due course. I'm very pleased to join you this morning, ladies and gentlemen, not only to recognise the achievements of the Community Jobs Scotland programme, but to recognise the important contribution that the third sector makes to improving the lives of the people of Scotland. I want to begin by echoing the remarks of the First Minister, who joined you earlier this morning when she thanked you all for everything that you have done and all that you are doing. Thank you to everyone in this room and the many thousands across the country who work tirelessly across a range of sectors each and every day. Thank you to what is often an unseen army of volunteers who work together and often with the Scottish Government to develop and deliver programmes that are tailored to the needs of both groups and individuals. And thank you for all that you do to deliver support to young people whose lives and future prospects have changed for the better. This is always important, but of course especially important in 2018, the year of young people. There are, of course, a number of successful programmes that deliver those interventions run by experienced charities and social enterprises that deserve our thanks and praise. But for the moment, I want to focus on one particular programme that's shown success over a number of years and which, like other programmes, embraces the ethos of collaborative working between employers and young people. Community Jobs Scotland has given young people real experience of the workplace. And not only has it provided participants with a 12-month placement, it has opened up opportunities for those young people to continue in employment equipped with their new skills and work experience. But importantly, the placements have helped to remove some of the barriers to employment that young people can often face, creating more confident individuals, improving self-esteem and developing new skills. And of course, it's helped employers understand how they can better support young people who have often faced complex barriers to gaining access to the workplace. And that's why it's been important that the programme has been delivered through a partnership approach, ensuring young people are supported during the placement to help them develop and gain relevant work skills and also to identify opportunities for the future. I'm very privileged to be able to travel across the country. The Length and Breadth of Scotland meeting was involved in the programme to hear firsthand the real and lasting difference it has made to young people's lives. Last year I visited the Calendar Youth Project to meet some of those young people, and I was very pleased to be able to present an award to Zara Turner, the 8,000th Community Jobs Scotland participant. Zara was, of course, delighted to receive her award, but I must commend all of those who have participated across the 7 phases of the programme. In fact, we've moved on even more from that particular milestone. To date, Community Jobs Scotland has provided 8,400 opportunities for young people across the country. Building on the achievements of the programme, I'm pleased that just this morning the First Minister announced, subject to parliamentary approval of the Scottish budget this afternoon, of course. You're all very welcome to lobby your MSP to vote for the budget this afternoon. That the Scottish Government will be providing a further £6.1 million for 2018-19 to enable SCVO to deliver Phase 8 of the programme, providing another 700 full and part-time in-work training opportunities to young people who need this support most. That takes the overall Scottish Government investment in this programme to almost £63 million over an 8-year period. This financial commitment is of course only one element of the support which is needed to help more people into work. We also need investment in a partnership approach, government, third sector and employers working together to break down those barriers that I talked of earlier. That partnership of course must, and critically must, include young people themselves. We will continue to seek the views of young people who have been involved in this programme and others to build on their experience and shape how we will continue to support them into employment. I very much look forward to hearing from some of those who have participated in Community Jobs Scotland in a few moments' time, because that's what it's all about, helping our young people realise their potential, no matter their background, no matter the challenges they have faced. Every young person in Scotland deserves to have the opportunity to succeed in whatever endeavour they choose, which is why it's so important to use the success of this programme to inform and support our wider training and employability offerings. Through a number of interventions, we have supported young people to realise and achieve their aspirations, particularly those who have experienced difficulties in the past. Inspiring Scotland's 14 to 19 fund, now entering its 10th year, is also being supported once again with investment from the government. This will provide tailored support to some disadvantaged 14 to 19-year-olds, giving them access to employment, education or training opportunities which will help them transform their lives. For those who struggle to engage in the school environment, or for whom sustaining a positive destination is a challenge, we have again invested in activity agreements for 16 to 19-year-olds. By delivering personalised support through a number of agencies in a community setting, young people can gain the skills and confidence to progress into further education, training or employment. Getting tailored support like this to those who need it is critical. And in 2017-18 we provided £1.2 million to fund the pilot of Discovering Your Potential, a new programme delivered by a consortium of 3 experienced charities aimed at delivering long-term support to young people with experience of care. Through these initiatives, we can together support young people from an early age and provide pathways into employment and a generally positive labour market. Headline employment indicators generally continue to improve, and in particular, youth employment remains encouraging. We continue to see Scotland outperform the rest of the UK in relation to youth unemployment, and indeed we are persistently amongst the best performing countries in the entirety of the European Union for youth unemployment. But whilst we of course welcome that fact, we remain committed to doing more to support everyone to succeed. We can and will do more to support our young people to access and sustain employment. It's for that reason we need to underpin all of our efforts with an all-encompassing approach. Through the continued implementation of developing the young workforce strategy, we can better support and develop the skill needs of all of our young people, but in particular those who face their own particular challenges moving into education, training or employment. Above all, it's critical that all of our young people have the opportunity, confidence and skills to shape their own pathways. If we are to develop a truly inclusive economy, we must ensure our young people are able to develop the wide range of skills necessary to participate in a rapidly changing and evolving labour market. This will cement Scotland's place in the world as a forward-thinking and successful nation. And a more inclusive society and economy must do more in particular to help young disabled people to learn new skills and find their rightful place in work. A Fairer Scotland for Disabled People, a strategy we published as a government last year, outlines the steps we will take together to help those with a disability realise their potential in the labour market as part of our wider aim of halving the overall disability employment gap. That support includes a range of actions such as providing record levels of modern apprenticeship funding specifically for young people with a disability, or working with NHS Scotland and the Glasgow Centre for Inclusive Learning and Equality Academy to launch 2-year NHS internship programme for disabled graduates delivered in partnership with NHS Scotland. Alongside our colleagues at the Scottish Commission for Learning Disability, we continue to drive the successful Project Search model, which helps young people with significant support needs to gain employment in Scotland. Across 13 sites in Scotland, there are 136 interns being supported. This range of action just touches the surface. We must continue to ensure that disabled people are not judged by their disability, but by their ability. I'm pleased that Community Jobs Scotland has supported young disabled people, with around 45% of those taking part having been identified as having a disability or with a long-term health condition. And whatever we do, it is imperative that we ensure a person-centred approach that meets the needs of the individual. And that's exactly what I aspire for Fair Start Scotland, our new employability service, which it will launch shortly next month. This all-age devolved employment service will see the Scottish Government aiming to help a minimum of 38,000 people towards and into work over a 3-year referral period. I am very grateful to the SCVO and a range of third sector partners for their support as we developed Fair Start Scotland, and I am pleased there is involvement from third sector partners in the delivery of the contracts we have put in place. The success of this service will be based in building collaboration and partnership across the public, private and third sectors. I'm currently making my way around each of the 9 contract lot areas that we have put in place, engaging in discussion with providers and local partners as part of getting ready for Fair Start Scotland going live. Through these discussions, it has been very clear that fairness, equality, dignity, respect are the underpinning principles of this new service, and our focus must be on how we will deliver against those ambitions. But we must also ensure that Fair Start Scotland is not seen as a standalone programme. It must be a significant part of a more integrated landscape of delivery alongside all of the programmes I have talked about today. And it's in that regard I've been pleased with the positive working relationship that I and those who work in the Scottish Government have developed with SCVO and all of its members through the regular engagement we have. We must continue to work together with other key partners such as local authorities, the DWP, to identify opportunities where we can better integrate employability support. I'll be publishing an action plan in the coming months which will act as a catalyst for a broad discussion on how we might achieve more effective integration of employability support, and I look forward to the SCVO taking part in that process. As I draw to a close, I want to refer back to the remarks I made at the very outset of my contribution today about the army of volunteers, the unsung heroes and the life changers who work across the third sector. As an organisation, SCVO works tirelessly to support your sector, to promote your shared interests and to help people get involved with their communities. This makes a real and meaningful contribution to making Scotland a better place, in particular supporting people of all ages to live fulfilling, meaningful lives. And again, in the year of young people, you all present yourselves as motivated, talented, enthusiastic and ambitious. Those attributes will serve you and your peers across the country well as you embark on your journeys to your chosen career through whatever pathway serves you best. I've no doubt that as we all work together, we'll make a real difference to the lives of the people of Scotland. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Absolutely fantastic to hear from you and to celebrate our ongoing partnership between government and the voluntary sector. We are indeed achieving some quite brilliant things. With everybody's permission, I'm going to move straight on to invite the contributions short, 5 minutes each from the rest of the panel, because I think it's important that Jamie gets to hear from the other people involved as well as everybody else in the room. First up is Stefan. Stefan Chrismans is currently on Community Jobs Scotland programme, working with the Renfrewshire Carer Centre. Stefan, are you happy to sit here?
Can I do something? So my name's Stefan Christmas, I'm 18, I'm from Paisley. I'm currently getting funding from Community Jobs Scotland for my post in the Renfrewshire Carer Centre. This is due to finish in June. So I'm just going to tell you a bit about how I got to where I am today and how the funding helped change my life a bit. So in my life I had a good upbringing, it was all family orientated. My when I got into high school, I kind of fell in with the wrong crowd a bit, kind of lost myself to the world. This led to some difficult family dynamics and also some offending behaviour, all of which I take back now and fully regret. I was sadly placed into care for a couple of years. This period of my life was rather up and down. All I needed was some stability, but with everything going on, I never really got this. It wasn't until I was working with a staff team within residential childcare, who I helped, had confidence in, that listened to me and understood what my needs were to gain that more positive outlook in life that I so badly needed before it was too late. They helped me realise what was important in life and showed me the two different roads you could go down. After some time, I began to feel more confident myself. I repaired my family relationship and since moved back into the family home. I've changed my peer group and I've wanted to make improvements in my life. This is when I was offered the chance to be involved in the Celtic FC Foundation's Cashback Gateway to Employment course. I wasn't sure at first about this course as I've been on other courses and it felt quite meaningless to me. I wanted this one to be different. I wanted to ensure that I left people impressed come the end of the course. I didn't only want to gain some valuable qualifications, but was hoping to be a step closer to finding full-time employment that gave me the chance of progression and stability that I needed in life. Since the first day at Celtic Park, I gave my all into the course. Perhaps the fact that it was Celtic, my childhood club, that gave me the motivation at first. But I knew as the weeks went on and more people kept dropping out, I knew it was down to me to see it through and keep up my effort in the course. There was one afternoon, two men came in to deliver a talk to us about their company, Community Jobs Scotland. This talk was a real eye-opener and made me realise the importance of networking and enthusiasm when applying for jobs in basic life. They took names for certain jobs, but I knew it wasn't going to be as easy as just writing your name down and getting a job. So towards the end of the talk, we learnt about an upcoming jobs fair being held beside Celtic Park, in which Community Jobs Scotland had a workshop. I decided to take myself along and have a chat with everyone. This is where I learnt about the position within the Remshire Carers Centre. This is where I applied for the job and this is where my adult life really started. This led to an interview and from there I never really looked back, if I'm being honest. It changed my whole outlook in life. I now focus in the future as whatever's happened's already happened. And as far as I know, we can't go back and change it. The only thing we can change and make brighter is our future. To my delight, I passed my interview and was given a 25-hour contract for 1 year. This has since turned into a 35-hour contract due to hard work, but my funding is still due to finish in June. I am hoping this gets extended. So I would like to thank everyone at Community Jobs Scotland for their funding over the last year. It hasn't only helped me career-wise, it's helped me improve so many aspects of my life and I'm grateful. Thanks for listening.
That's just brilliant to hear, Stefan, and there'll be an opportunity for people to ask any questions that they have in a little while. But before we get on to that, let's move on to Karen, who's just further down here. Karen's also on Community Jobs Scotland and currently working with the Kilwinning Sports Club. Over to you, Karen.
Hiya, my name's Karen Haddle. I'm 25 and I'm from Irvine, North Ayrshire. I first came across this opportunity actually when I was in Side Prison. I was battling a lot with addiction and kind of fell into the same kind of stigmas round about me and kind of lost my way a wee bit. Ended up inside jail and basically it's totally changed my life round about. Basically I got given this opportunity, I come out, I got given my interview, I went for my interview and Claire gave me the chance and ever since then I've been working, I'm clean, I'm back in with my family, I'm getting contact with my son again. It's just, it's totally changed my life. And I'd just like to thank everybody that's put everything together for people like me that do want to change. And thanks for having confidence and giving people opportunity that will not come across it. And that's just pretty much it, that's all I'm going to say. But thanks very much for the opportunity that you have all gave me because it's totally changed my life and my son's life as well.
Karen, do not apologise for showing emotion. This is really important stuff and I think you are explaining to us in a way that we all know and understand about how important these life-changing opportunities are. Now, moving on to look at the programme from the other end of the spectrum, as to somebody representing an organisation who's partnering in the delivery of Community Jobs Scotland. Delighted to welcome Ian Murray, who's a police inspector with the Scottish Violence Reduction Unit and also works with Braveheart Industries, and he's going to talk about his experience of using social enterprise to support people to have a better opportunity in life. Over to you, Ian.
Oh, thanks very much.
Thank you. I'm going to put these glasses on, somebody's left them here. It's not that I'm vain, it might help, it's a bit dark in here. So yes, good morning, thanks for giving me the opportunity to say a few words today. It's a real pleasure. Yeah, I'm a police inspector with the Police Service of Scotland, attached to the Violence Reduction Unit. You're wondering, what am I doing up here? Let me tell you what I'm doing up here. I'm also a director with Braveheart Industries. It's a social enterprise, it's a partnership that we have. It's an intervention and prevention programme. We currently trade in the catering industry, under the umbrella of Street and Arrow, which is a play in the straight and narrow term. Since February 2016, since operating this social enterprise, we've been delivering this programme which is centred upon employability for persons with conviction. People who can't get second chances as a consequence of their life choices in the past. Now, I'm no academic, but let me tell you a wee bit about why we're doing this. In 1979, a guy called Aaron Antonovsky, a medical sociologist, proposed an approach termed salutogenesis. Easy for me to say. That's a theory of how certain people, stay healthy. Antonovsky refers to a sense of coherence, which is central to successful coping with challenge. So what he was really saying was, we need three things, all of us need three things in life for it to be effective, for us to be effective, and that's understandability, manageability and predictability. A job brings all those three things. We recognise that the job is central to consistency, order and stability, for people to thrive, for our young communities in the future to thrive. So Braveheart Industries, the social enterprise, is linked up with SCVO and Community Jobs Scotland to deliver this programme that we have. I can't speak highly enough of SCVO. Michael Hollinger, Donna McKinnon, Margaret Wallace, to name but a few. They are absolutely amazing. Their enthusiasm, their determination, their energy continues to be nothing more than inspiring for me and my team. Their behind-the-scenes work shouldn't be taken for granted. There's nothing too much for them, for us. We ask them for a whole lot of support. There's no such a thing as a problem. It's just situations looking for solutions, and they seem to have all the solutions, of which we're very grateful. From recruitment assistance to training resources to the support of the trainee salaries, it's absolutely fantastic. With their amazing contribution, our programme has been able to deliver two huge things for individuals, for families and for communities, and that's hope and opportunity. I'm certain that the other lucky organisations who are also part in CGS will recognise the boost that has for the young person, the gain in self-esteem, confidence, mental well-being, appetite for work, optimism, emotional intellect, interpersonal and social maturity, and this helps them keep on the straight and narrow. My experience is that by increasing the protective factors, we keep people healthy. And adding the tailored, person-centred support, together with Community Jobs Scotland and SCVO, we are transforming lives. People who were previously deemed as being broken and damaged are now fixed and thriving. I would love to point to dozens of people who we've already had through our system into a positive destination in our programme so far. But I'm delighted to say I can't have any of them here today because they're all busy working for somebody else. So we're a product of our own success. Finally, I'd like to finish by thanking those who devised the scheme, those who continue to support it and deliver it. Thank you very much. It's been fantastic for everyone involved. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ian. That was very inspiring, and also my thanks to you for showing your appreciation to the SCVO team. I'm very proud of them. And our final input this morning is from Graham Stewart, who I'm delighted to say has been through the Community Jobs Scotland programme and is a successful graduate of it, and he's got some things to contribute before we have an opportunity to ask all the panel some questions.
Okay, thank you. I'm a wee bit nervous. So my name is Graham Stewart. I'm 27 years of age. I live in Glasgow. I live in the Castlemilk area. And at school, I went to St Vincent's School. I really loved my teacher. I loved education. I got on well. I actually miss it dearly. But when school finished and I left, I got a job and it was for 2 months. And I felt, you know, I wasn't getting support. Lots of people were hearing, and it was temporary, and I felt as though I got moved to another job for a 4-year apprenticeship, doing joinery, and the communication there, again, it was a hearing situation, so I felt as though I was constantly up against barriers, and it just wasn't good. The atmosphere wasn't good. I wasn't included. And so afterwards, the 4 years expired, and I was without a job. Yeah, so after that, I got a job in Asda, and that was really difficult because a lot of the communication was done in English, so there was a lot of writing things down in paper. English is my second language. I was oblivious most of the time to the detail, and emotionally I felt discluded as well. And carry on. So a couple of years ago in May, I struggled a little bit, and then that carried on through to September, and I felt as though I was facing barriers. I got some support, but to be honest, it wasn't the sort of support I was expecting. It wasn't tailored to my situation, my communication needs. And so I got afterwards I got a placement in action in hearing loss. So AOHL, action in hearing loss. You were working there for a wee while. You got an interview. What? For 1 year. Finished. Sorry guys, so 1 year ago I got an opportunity at Starter Packs Glasgow, and it's is it permanent? It's ongoing till it finish? And so my job at Starter Packs involved putting together starter packs for those that needed it. And the first couple of goes at putting together those starter packs, I felt as though that I wasn't, I needed a little bit more support. I wasn't sure what was actually needed in the packs, but actually the second, third and fourth time that I put those packs together, I felt more comfortable in the work I was doing, and I felt able to do the work well. The staff seemed absolutely fantastic. At the beginning, it felt very strange, but as time went on, I felt as though that I could actually communicate well. There was one person who could do a little bit of signing, but they were actually finger spelling everything. So it was like ABC, F, Z, L, O, and I was like, right, okay, slow down. I'm a BSL user, so I use my hands like this. But everything was all finger spelt, and I thought, oh my God, right, okay, so what are we talking about? So we would digress, and I would be like, right, okay, no, that's not what we're talking about. So I had to persevere and really sort of tune into that finger spelling. It was actually the boss, and so that was interesting. But so another volunteer started, and they weren't sure about things, and then they came over and they were asking me questions, and I said, you know, if you have any problems, just come and let me know. We can use pen and paper, but really if we can support each other to communicate better, then we're going to be able to deal with our problems much easier. So there would just be a meeting, a slow but general meeting of minds, and as time went on, they became independent, and I could leave them to it, and so that was great. And so when it came time to do the pat testing for the electronic equipment, I would have to get support doing that. But it was very interesting to see that process carried out. So I was supported in looking at the requirements for equipment and gaining an understanding and an interest in the process of pat testing the electrical equipment. So although there was a lot of, oh right, okay, that's not quite right, let's do it this way, so it was great to get there in the end. So I really enjoy my job. I know that now we can communicate. There's a little bit of gesturing and there's a little bit of lip reading. When the people I know are talking, I kind of know what people are saying. We're getting there. I mean, it's not as difficult as it was. But some people, I think, you know, they maybe when they're round about me talking, I don't know what's being said, but when we have more of a one-to-one, and you know, obviously the first time of meeting people, they're a wee bit standoffish. I'm a bit like that myself. I'm kind of like, right, okay, but after we get to know each other, communication becomes a lot easier. So I really want to say, you know, thank you so much for all the support I've been given over this period, and I've really enjoyed the work experience. So thank you.
That's just a brilliant story, well told. No problems with communications there today. Thanks very much, Graham. We've got maybe just a few minutes for questions, but Jamie really does have to dash. He's got some labour market statistics or something to launch. So if we can just show our appreciation once more for Jamie Hepburn, the Minister, for joining us this morning. And I really do think, even though we're running slightly over time, I do think it would be a dreadful opportunity missed if we didn't and just take a couple of minutes to put any questions or comments or points that any of you have to any or all of the members of the panel, just to tease out their experience a little bit more. So anybody who's got something they'd like to ask or to say, can you put your hand up? And we've got a roving mic that can come and grab you. And if you could just say like who you are, that would be great too.
My name is Dominic Brooks, representing the Scottish Board of Social Enterprise Chambers. We've got a number of young people working on community jobs in the borders on a variety of social enterprises. Unfortunately, Jamie's left, and it was really aimed at him. One of the apprenticeships were recently announced that they were given travel passes to their one apprenticeships. We were wondering if that could be rolled out across the board to the people on the community jobs, because, well, in a city, sitting, it's not too bad getting about in the buses, but in a rural area where we live, the young people are spending sometimes up to £9 a day in travel.
That's an absolutely excellent point, and I can comment on it a little bit, but let's see if there's any other questions or comments that we can collect first before we address that.
Hi, I'm Wendy Johnston and I work for Wisdom Lodge, a place to grow. I would echo actually that one actually. We've got a lot of paying £10 today. But actually, I just wanted to say thank you to the panel, particularly to Karen, because I've been in this game for a long time now, 20 odd years, and always in the voluntary sector. Sometimes you get so wrapped up in the day-to-day working pressures and you say all the words, but you don't always feel it, and you just hit me right there, Karen. And you reminded me why I have always worked in the voluntary sector and why we do the work that we do, because it actually does really make a difference in people's lives. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Let's pick up on that point, because I absolutely share that with you. Stefan, what does it feel like for you to work in the voluntary sector?
It feels good. Just any job that I thought would feel good, but now I've got something a bit of stability in my life. It's just making everything easier in life. It's just working. It's good.
Ian, you know, working with a public institution and then branching out to work with bits of the third sector, what have you found that's different about those of us that work here?
I think it's a remarkable group of people. I'm amazed, continually amazed with the energy, the enthusiasm that's out there. I've got to take my hat off to every single one of you. It's just such a web of support and positivity. It's enlightening.
Graham.
Yeah. So sorry. What was the question?
What does it feel like working in the voluntary sector, and the point that the person made about the emotion and the feeling that comes with it?
Hang on. So yeah, I mean, there's a difference in situation between the staff where they're permanent and the volunteers themselves. There is a sense of that it isn't permanent, and that we need to really communicate well to get the most out of the situation. And I'm a deaf chat myself. I've seen volunteers come and go. My challenge is to really get to know people when I look at how their mouth moves, I look at how their face moves, I look to gauge a person on what I see. Again, people will come up to me and give me they've actually learned over time that a tap on the shoulder isn't a bad thing. Hi Graham, and then we can start to communicate. So I do, a lot of people are unsure at first of how to approach me, but through time we do get there, and it's really enjoyable to work with my fellow volunteers.
It's certainly my experience that people who work in the voluntary sector always go the extra mile. Karen, that leaves you to have the last word in this point. What would you like to say?
Being involved in this, it just gives you hope again. It makes you feel part of a team. It builds up your self-esteem again and makes you feel that you are important, and that it doesn't matter how far or how bad your situation has been, you can come back for it as long as you believe in yourself and other people are willing to give you a chance. And it's totally changed everything. It can change your life, it really can.
Thank you to all the panellists. I should say we absolutely won't lose the question that you had about travel. It's an absolutely critical, practical one, and we do, as you know, both I and Jamie pointed out, have a good ongoing liaison with Scottish Government. There are officials still in the room, and so we'll pick that up and see if we can't actually get some progress on it. And if there are any other particular points or practicalities that you have, any of you, either as somebody working on CGS or as an employer of CGS, that you'd like to feed through to the team that could make a difference, please don't hesitate, because we're always looking to think about changes and adaptations and improvements that we can make. And one of those is about communicating better what we all do, because there are so many, like 8,300 and some fabulous stories now. We've been trying to gather those up and find a way of spreading the word and telling all of our stories much better. And so that's why what we'd like to do now is to launch some videos that we've put together to celebrate the story of Community Jobs Scotland.
I was British Army before I came here, so I'd served 4 years in Blackwatch, 3rd Battalion Royal Regiment of Scotland. And then I went from there, I'd left there and came into obviously this job. I couldn't really find a job because I never had any like qualifications or anything like that coming out of Army because I was infantry. So when I did come out, I'd seen I was a post on Facebook. I applied through that, and it was for forestry and stuff. I'd always wanted to be a tree climber, so it's worked out pretty good for me. I've got to supervise the guys on site. I've also got to train the guys up to a certain standard for their tree climbing and stuff like that, aerial rescue. I've got to take them out on the site. I've got to get all the correct health and safety stuff out, make sure they're wearing PPE, and then I've got to run the job as well. I've loved it. I love coming out to work in the morning. I've never really had a day that I've not liked. That's good. It's all round. I've learned loads of things. I've got about £5 grand worth of tickets, so I can't get any more tickets. I'm fully qualified, so it's good. Especially with funding and stuff that other companies can't afford to give. You manage to find something for the opposite there. So it's good. It's definitely good.
Just kind of fell away from school a bit, and then ended up just not really going to school. Went to a course with Celtic. People for the CGA provided a talk, and then
full-time and I'm now working with young people in schools as well, so I absolutely love it. Like, I must be like one of the only people in the world that absolutely loves going to work.
I was a sports coach for Glasgow Sport, Glasgow Life, but there was an apprenticeship, and afterwards there was no kind of route to go down. I went through a employability course with Leaving Care Services. It was an event I went to. Contract with the sports side of stuff, but I was fortunate enough that I was working in the office with the men that ran the estates management, and at the time the sports was running out, they said, look, there's an opportunity in the gardens, do you want it? And I was like, I'll take it. Usually in the summer I'm in the hedges, so I've got the hedges with the machines. Through the winter it's kind of finding work, so we pick up bulk and stuff, we do litter the streets. We do head reductions and stuff like that. Because it was all kind of sitting in the office with the sports, but with this one it's getting out every day. Maybe if you don't get anything out of it, you still get the experience and it goes onto a CV.
I was in and out of hospital all my life. since I was young, but when I was 17, that was the worst one. I was in the hospital for 7 or 8 weeks, really made me depressed, and I really wanted to just give up. But I just woke up one morning and said to my mum and dad that I need to get up and do something. I can't do this anymore. That's when I started going to the job centre and trying to get a job. I wanted to play football, but because of my disability, I knew I couldn't play for a team, so I said to myself the next best thing for me is coaching. They mentioned about a course in Celtic Park, and as soon as he mentioned Celtic, I was like, put me in, that's it, I'm going. As soon as I came into the course, the second day of the course, I started on for a job. And I just said he'll do his best for to get me on, so I think that's when we started talking to Michael and started getting things sorted for me. I go out to schools and coach kids in schools. I also coach kids with autism, kids with Down syndrome. I also work with a group called Active Fans, so always on the go. It's helping me with confidence. That was my biggest aim, was confidence. Speaking to people, I was really shy, I didn't really speak to everybody. Because I went for jobs before, and I went for places before, and they say there's a disabilities and downfall for it. I always just thought I'm never going to get anywhere in life. I always thought that I would always be even single all my life, but now I'm engaged and I've got a job that I love, and I never thought that would happen to me. I always tell people, just follow your dream, never give up. Whatever you want, don't give up, you'll be able to do it no matter what. No matter what qualifications you've got, no matter how confident you are in it, just keep aiming for your goal and you'll achieve it.
Got a wee tear in my eye now, that's quite emotional. So thank you to all the people that participated in those videos, and thank you to the team for putting them together, because I think it really does help us communicate all of these fantastic stories. And to finish off this morning's session, we've got something else a little bit different to help us think about all these journeys that people's lives are taking. And I'd like to introduce Sean Moore, who's going to do a little bit of performance poem for us.
Thanks, Lucy. Although I do feel an absolute fraud coming up after all those real life stories in the room as well as on the video. Just a bit of a fraud though. Working in through care and aftercare, I do fully appreciate the invaluable work that gets done by CGS. So I've seen it in action. Anyway. See the young people these days, see when I was their age, we didn't have all this high-tech, newfangled, fancy pocket-sized gadgetry to make life easy. No checking up, booking up and buying stuff for messages to holidays while sitting at home, no online tick boxes and automated options. Thousands of people with jobs, manning office phones. In magazines, books and newspapers, no Kindle stories, virtual news and online blogs. But office runners, bookbinders, typesetters, thousands of people had to do printing jobs. No cutting and pasting, desktop publishing, voice recognition, software technology. People did shorthand typing, longhand dictation. Thousands of youngsters had jobs as secretaries. And no automatic machines to dispense your ticket at the train station or going to the pictures. No self-scanning in shops or phone banking apps, but thousands of people staffing those counters. No Amazon warehouse hoarding everything away with teams of pickers and a few guys driving vans. No click and collect online grocery sites, but thousands of workers in high streets all over the land. Young people these days. See, when I was their age, strange, but now I bring it to mind, maybe jobs were easier to find. Young people these days. See, when I was their age, if you couldn't be bothered with people, you closed your door. If you did want to chat to somebody, you phoned them. If you did half carry on, nobody was filming. Embarrassing photos stayed at home, kept safe for an album. No social pressure to display out there, no 24/7 spotlight scrutiny, chasing retweets and likes and shares. But solitude, peace and quiet, privacy. Young people these days. See, when I was their age, with no box set, binging, remote gaming, YouTubing, Netflixing or Spotifying, but borrowing tapes, gaming face to face, giving and receiving, everyday socialising. These youngins and that technology, some might say it's making them lazy. It may be instant and convenient, but that's not the same as making life easy. See the young people these days? I'm awfully glad I'm not their age. But today more than conference or convention, it will be an unapologetic celebration, a long overdue recognition of the value of that generation. Changing that perspective often seen before. That group of people, that's when they're not getting ignored. That age group who felt disenfranchised, demonised, too often ostracised, marginalised. Today we highlight the high value of young people to society, how they enhance the labour market, the real assets to a community. And whether that community is local or national, because community, jobs, and Scotland, it's all correlational. When a nation nurtures its young, it's vulnerable especially. If investment is a commitment for that agenda nationally and is implemented, complemented by agencies locally, these people feel value, worth and pride personally. And the dividend is paid instantly as a positive identity internally in that society with whom they feel affinity. And when you feel inclusion, you feel you're making a contribution, being given a chance to achieve your best, you'll repay that investment with interest. Both neighbourhood and nation are enriched and recompensed. This equation is no soft-hearted notion, but hard-headed business sense. Mutual affinity, mutually beneficial, at personal, local and national level. And if we're talking mutuality, let's talk mutual understanding. Mutual respect or willingness to empathise, where an individual's needs and abilities are respected and recognised. And we find solutions and compromise, where we appreciate that the one size doesn't always fit all, so we personalise. It's made to measure, it's tailored, unique, bespoke, individualised. Sometimes it's all right to make it up as you go along. And although we need basic values, doesn't mean this work is just instinctive or the challenges facing us are easy. When the employment market has never been as competitive, where automation and technology kill vacancies daily, within a framework of higher standards and expectations, where GDP and profits are the main considerations, overhauled benefits system and continued austerity in the shadow of political and constitutional uncertainty, no pressure. So there's lots to consider, unknown variants in play, but one thing is certain, it cannot be in doubt. It's time to bring the young, fresh blood into the game. And Graham Stewart, this is where you help me out. New ideas, new energy, tactics, among the teammates and the bosses. Scotland needs fewer old Alex McLeishes and needs a few more young Jack Rosses. On a sense. Enjoy your day.
Wasn't that absolutely brilliant? Thank you so much for bringing a very different end to a voluntary sector gathering of this sort. It only remains for me to say thank you again to all the panellists. Thank you to the people involved in the videos. Thank you to Sean. Thank you in his absence to the Minister. But just as importantly, thank you to everybody else in the room for everything you continue to do to contribute to the success of Community Jobs Scotland. Enjoy the rest of the gathering.
Ha ha ha.